What's happening? Thanks for joining us. I'm Chris.
I'm Pete.
And in a few days, it will be Thanksgiving. So what we're going to do is sort of look at going into Thanksgiving. Traditionally, a lot of people try to pair Thanksgiving with wines, which is fine if you're into that. But with, more people into better beers, more people are drinking beer with their meals. Actually, an interesting note I had, I heard the other day, I was having dinner after work, and I was sitting at the bar, and the waitress there was mentioning that it's a relatively nice restaurant, and they have quality beers, and they also have the equivalent of wines, whatever that is, I don't know. And she said, complete strangers will actually sit down at the bar and talk about their beer. Like, I'm tasting this. Hey, this is cool. Have you had this? She's never heard anybody, her entire time working there, ever say that about any of the wines they're drinking.
Mm-hmm.
So, that was just kind of an interesting fact. But, just sort of looking at the run, we're going to take a look at this one here from Cisco out of Martha's Vineyard, one of the islands off Massachusetts.
And a very good brewery.
Yeah, this is going to be our focus beer we're going to take a look at. But going through a range of beers, I know at Thanksgiving when I'm having it, I always bring out some of the beers I've sort of put away for like the special occasion beers. Something like your Sucubos, a barrel-aged barley wine. It's, rich, full of flavor. It comes in a box and it's fancy. So, so that's sort of one of those ones like I hang on to. I actually, for a lot of years, I brought the same vintage of the Swanky Nose barley wine, and me and my brother-in-law would always split it, and it was kind of cool just to see how it changed. So, I always feel like beforehand, you're eating hors d'oeuvres, cheese, a lot of the bigger, richer beers, something like Sucuba or Sacava. No one filled me in on how to say it.
It's backwards.
Yeah. Backwards, Atticus. Those are good choices. And even something like going down here, like the St. Bernardus Christmas Ale, it's a richer, maltier kind of beer. It's just kind of nice for the holiday season. I like those sort of things. Moving on, generally, we picked out this Cisco. It's a triple, coming in at, I believe, 9.5%. 9% here. Generally it's a lighter beer, flavor-wise than something like Sacava or your Bourbon County over here. Mostly you want something that pairs well with the meal, but without it being overwhelming to what you're having. So traditionally having like a turkey, that's not necessarily the biggest and boldest of flavors, unless maybe like you smoked it or something like that. Stuffing, mashed potatoes, various vegetables. Sort of, I feel like the sweetness and sort of like that Belgian spice note is enough to complement those lighter flavors without being overwhelming and distracting from the food.
Yeah, so I mean, you could do something like this, which is a triple, or even like a Pilsner.
Yep.
Or a better quality lager, not Budweiser, but something that's a little bit lighter, because you're right, a 15% bourbon barrel-aged stout is going to just kill the flavor in the food, because it's very, very heavy.
So the Cisco Triple is a good bet if you're going for the traditional turkey route. Some people tend to go with hams. I myself personally am staying home by myself and cooking ribs in a crock pot while I go running. Who's to say what Thanksgiving is?
That's right.
If you're going for the ham route, definitely something a little heartier, a little maltier, going along like a Doppelbock, something that's got a lot more malt, maybe like a little bit of a smoke element to really complement those kind of darker meats. Then you sort of go dessert style. Again, Thanksgiving is one of those really, the holidays where you pull out some nicer beers. So something like your Bourbon County stouts, if you're going for more of a chocolate styled, like chocolate cake type dessert. I know a lot of the places I've had desserts before when you're doing Thanksgiving, it's like you have a spread. Pumpkin pie, stuff like that, something where you're going to get that kind of sweetness. Maybe something like the Shipyard, like the smashed pumpkin in bourbon barrels. You're getting a little bit of that pumpkin flavor, a little of those spices, and a little bourbon. So it's a little something nice, a little bit sweeter going along with your pies there. And then there's always football, and then your heady toppers, your IPAs, hanging out, watching football. Those are awesome. So we've sort of run the gamut of what you're drinking at Thanksgiving. So let's get into the Cisco.
I'm getting thirsty.
Alright, so we mentioned before, it's 9%, and it's from Cisco Brewery. This is their Island Reserve. Yeah, Cisco Brewers Island Reserve Tripel Ale, 9%, from Massachusetts and Martha's Vineyard.
And I don't hear a lot about this brewery for being a local, fairly local brewery, but I mean everything I've had of theirs has been quite solid.
Yeah.
I mean, one of the better little breweries in New England.
Some of the beers they have that we don't necessarily get in this area is called the Wood Series. A lot of barrel aged projects. I've tried a couple of them before. Really, really outstanding stuff. I like it a lot. Please come to New Hampshire.
Yeah.
But so taking a look at this triple here, it pours a really nice cloudy orange with about just under a finger of head on there. And fair amount of carbonation.
Yeah.
That's a really nice looking beer.
It is.
It is. I've seen ugly looking beers. Like beers you don't admit to. Like, I don't own that beer.
It has a strong nose too, because when you poured it, I could get it.
Yeah, I was just noticing that I'm getting a lot of those Belgian esters just from holding out in front of me.
Mm.
That's a really nice smelling beer. There's a lot it's like a lot of slight sweetness to it. Kind of bready, but really like a nice sweet, estery kind of Belgian style beer.
Yeah, I mean, I usually on triples, Westmalls and stuff, a lot of pear, skin and stuff. This has like a brighter, more of there's a little bit of citrusy going on, orange and stuff in there, which is good.
Yeah, I'm definitely liking the way this smells a lot. Okay, well, enough smelling this. Let's get to drinking it. Cheers.
Cheers. It's got a little bit of a bitterness on it, or a hoppiness or something on it that I wasn't expecting. It's not as sweet as the nose.
No, there's definitely a good amount of sweet notes in it. There's, I feel like a lot of drying towards the end. And yeah, you're right, there is that pronounced bit of hoppiness in there that I think really, generally I don't like that. I don't like hop, like the Belgian style IPAs and stuff like that. Like I like those styles separately, but for some reason not together. This, I think it actually complements well. It's not overly burdening to it.
9%. Yeah, it hides the alcohol.
Yep.
Well,
it definitely has a really nice like mouthfeel. It's almost a bit on the oily side.
It leaves a little on your tongue.
Yep. It's a little bit oily. Yeah. The carbonation's there. You're not really tasting much of the alcohol for the 9%. It's a nice drinking triple.
Yeah, I mean, it's got good flavor. It would go, I think this is absolutely like perfect turkey beer.
Yeah. I think it's enough to complement those lighter flavors while still being sort of vibrant and balancing between the two.
I just plan to get hammered on Bourbon County though. I don't really, the turkey.
Yeah, I'm gonna pull some stuff out while I'm making ribs. So, I guess with that said, tell us, what are you drinking for Thanksgiving? I'll probably post what I drank later after the fact. So,
are we gonna drink all these after you turn this off too?
Yes. All right. So with that said, we're gonna continue enjoying the rest of this. Hope you're enjoying something as well. Have a good Thanksgiving. See you next time. Cheers.
Cheers.